Today, I'm sharing the 4-step metabolic roadmap that specifically targets menopausal belly fat and giving you the exact protocol that forces your body to exit storage mode in days, not months. Most women who follow this roadmap see their energy skyrocket and their waistline shrink within just a few weeks. We are counting down from step 4 to the #1 counterintuitive secret you must accept to see results. Before we begin, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from, your age, and what the biggest problem you're facing during this period. We're reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips and advice. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. We are starting with step 4 because you cannot drive a car with a dead battery. Most women over 50 are trying to force their bodies to burn fat while running on empty. You might have the diet right, but if your cellular engine lacks the spark plugs, your metabolism will remain stalled. This is the silent villain that makes your efforts feel useless. Your thyroid function and cellular energy plummet without specific cofactors, leading to a stalled metabolism regardless of how little you eat. Recent clinical data, including a 2023 study published by the Mayo Clinic involving a large cohort of women, indicates a strong correlation between specific micronutrient deficiencies and metabolic syndrome in menopausal women. The first critical component of this ignition system is the combination of vitamin D and magnesium. You likely know vitamin D is important, but you probably do not realize that your body treats it as a hormone, not just a vitamin. When your estrogen drops, your body relies on vitamin D to help regulate insulin sensitivity. If you are deficient, your insulin stays high, and high insulin locks the doors to your fat cells. You physically cannot burn belly fat. But here is the catch. Vitamin D cannot work without magnesium. Magnesium is the mineral that lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that specifically targets your belly for fat storage. If you take vitamin D alone, it remains inactive. You need magnesium to convert it into the active form that your metabolism can use. Together, they lower the inflammatory load that is keeping your midsection swollen. This one mistake is why your menopausal belly fat is hormonally stuck. The rest of this segment reveals the key to unlocking it. Keep watching. The second component tackles the fluid retention and energy crash that hits you every afternoon. This is the B vitamin complex, specifically B6 and B12. Vitamin B6 is essential for progesterone production. Even though your levels are dropping, you need to maximize what you have left to balance out the estrogen dominance that causes water retention and bloating. If you feel puffy regardless of how much water you drink, you likely have a B6 deficiency. Then there's B12. This is your cellular energy currency. As we age, our stomach acid weakens, making it incredibly difficult to absorb B12 from food. Without it, your cells cannot generate the energy required to oxidize fat. You feel tired, sluggish, and your metabolism slows down to match your low energy output. I remember when I was 47, I was taking a generic multivitamin and wondering why I still felt exhausted at 2 in the afternoon. It was only when I switched to high-quality methylated B vitamins that the fog lifted. The difference was not subtle. It was the difference between dragging myself through the day and attacking it. This specific combination, vitamin D, magnesium, B6, and B12, acts as a thyroid boost. Your thyroid is the master control switch for your metabolism. It needs these specific nutrients to convert the inactive thyroid hormone T4 into the active fat-burning hormone T3. Without them, your thyroid slows down and your body temperature drops, lowering your daily calorie burn. By supplementing these specific nutrients, you are manually upregulating your metabolic rate, telling your body it is safe to release stored energy. However, simply taking these pills is not enough. You have sparked the engine, and you have the fuel ready to burn. But this entire system will fail if you do not control the timing of when you let that fuel into the tank. The supplements ignite the fire, but if your eating window is constantly spiking insulin, you are pouring water on that flame every few hours. That leads us directly to step 3, the biological reset that clears the path for these nutrients to work. Step 3, the biological reset, intermittent fasting. Recent clinical data, including a 2021 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine involving a large cohort of women, indicates a strong correlation between time-restricted eating and the significant reduction of visceral fat in postmenopausal subjects. Furthermore, guidelines released by the Menopause Society in 2020 validate the importance of meal timing for glycemic control, providing evidence-based support for this approach. You have the spark plugs from step 4, but now you need to clear the traffic jam that is blocking your fat cells from releasing energy. That brings us to step 3. This is where most women get scared because they think they have to starve themselves. That is not what we are doing here. We are not cutting calories, we are compressing them. The method is called the 16-8 protocol, and it is the only way to lower your baseline insulin levels enough to access the stubborn fat stored around your midsection. I remember when I was following the old advice of eating 6 small meals a day to keep my metabolism burning. I did this for years. What I didn't realize was that every time I ate, even if it was a healthy handful of almonds, I was spiking my insulin. In your 20s, your insulin spikes and drops quickly, but in menopause, you are likely dealing with insulin resistance. Your insulin spikes and stays high for hours. And here's the physiological reality you must accept. It is physically impossible for your body to burn fat when insulin is present in the blood. Insulin is a storage hormone. Its job is to lock energy into cells. By grazing all day, you are keeping your body in permanent storage mode, locking the doors to your fat cells so that no amount of exercise can access them. Now stay focused. The rest of this segment explains the metabolic lie that keeps you holding on to that stubborn belly fat. Watch closely. The 16-8 protocol changes this game entirely. You fast for 16 hours and eat all your meals within an 8-hour window. This long break is critical because it gives your body the time it needs to clear insulin from the bloodstream completely. Once insulin drops to baseline, your body has no choice but to switch fuel sources. It stops burning the food coming in from your mouth and starts burning the stored energy on your hips and belly. This is the biological reset. You are flipping the metabolic switch from store to burn. But there is a deeper benefit that kicks in only when you extend your fast past the 16-hour mark, and this is the secret weapon against aging. It is called autophagy. It sounds scary, but it is actually the most powerful anti-aging process your body has. When you haven't eaten for 16 or 17 hours, your cells start to panic slightly. They look around for energy, and finding no food, they start to recycle their own damaged components. They eat up the junk proteins, the old cellular machinery, and the inflammatory debris that slows down your metabolism. This process cleans your cells from the inside out, making them more efficient at producing energy. This is how you heal your metabolism. The reason this works so well for menopause belly fat specifically targets visceral fat, the dangerous fat that wraps around your organs. This fat is highly inflammatory and drives cortisol production. You are not just losing weight, you are lowering the systemic inflammation that makes you feel puffy, achy, and tired. You are healing the cellular damage that caused the weight gain in the first place. Here is exactly how you implement this. It is simpler than you think. You do not need to change what you eat yet. You just change when you eat. The easiest way to do this is to skip breakfast. Stop eating at 8 p.m. and do not eat again until 12 p.m. the next day. That's 16 hours. During the fasting window, you can drink water, black coffee, or tea. Nothing else. No cream, no sugar, no sweeteners. Anything that tastes sweet can trigger an insulin response and break the fast. The first few days will be difficult. Your body is addicted to the constant sugar drip. You will feel hungry around 10 a.m. This is not starvation. This is your body throwing a tantrum because it has to do the hard work of unlocking fat cells. Drink a large glass of water and wait 20 minutes. The hunger will pass and you will feel a surge of mental clarity. That clarity is the sign that your body has switched into fat burning mode. That was number 3. You have cleared the insulin block and opened the door to fat burning. But this strategy comes with a massive risk. If you open that door and then feed your body the wrong fuel during your 8-hour window, you will destroy your muscle mass instead of burning fat. That leads us directly to step 2, which prevents this metabolic disaster. Before step 2, I just want to say, behind every video is a ton of effort. And the best reward is knowing you enjoyed it. By liking and commenting, you give me the motivation to keep creating more content. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Step 2, the satiety switch, high protein protocol. We are at step 2, and this is where most women accidentally sabotage their own metabolism. You have ignited the spark with supplements, and you have opened the fat-burning window with fasting. But if you break that fast with a bowl of oatmeal or a piece of fruit, you are signaling your body to break down its own muscle tissue for fuel. This is the metabolic disaster we must avoid. When you lose muscle, your resting metabolic rate drops. You might lose weight on the scale, but you are becoming skinny fat, and your daily calorie burn is shrinking, making it harder to keep the weight off. Recent clinical data, including updated guidelines from the Menopause Society in 2022, indicates a critical physiological shift that occurs in women over 50, the rapid acceleration of sarcopenia, or involuntary muscle loss. Furthermore, research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition validates that postmenopausal women require significantly higher amino acid intake to stimulate muscle protein synthesis compared to younger women, providing evidence-based support for a high-protein intervention. To prevent this, we are flipping the satiety switch. The protocol is non-negotiable. You must consume between 100 and 130 grams of protein every single day. I know that sounds like a lot. If you are currently eating the standard diet, you are probably getting maybe 40 or 50 grams. Doubling that feels impossible at first, but you have to understand why this specific number matters. Now stay focused, because the rest of this point is the only way to get your body to release that belly fat because your insulin sensitivity is compromised. Keep watching. As we age, our bodies develop something called anabolic resistance. This means your muscles become deaf to the signals that protein sends. In your 30s, 20 grams of protein was enough to trigger muscle repair. Now, in your 50s, you need 30 to 40 grams in a single sitting just to get the same signal. If you graze on small amounts of protein throughout the day, your muscles never get the on switch they need to maintain themselves. You simply waste away and your metabolism slows down with every pound of muscle you lose. There is another reason why this high protein target is the secret to melting belly fat: the thermogenic effect of food. Not all calories are created equal. When you eat fat or carbohydrates, your body uses very little energy to digest them. They're easy fuel. But protein is metabolically expensive. Your body has to work hard to break down the complex amino acid chains. In fact, your body burns about 25 to 30% of the calories in protein just to digest it. If you eat 100 calories of chicken, your body only absorbs about 70 net calories. If you eat 100 calories of bread, your body absorbs almost all of it. By simply hitting your protein target, you are increasing your daily calorie burn without doing a single extra minute of exercise. I remember when I first tried to hit 130 grams, I felt like all I was doing was chewing. I was staring at a plate of chicken breast and vegetables, and I just couldn't finish it. That is where the strategy matters. You can't get there by accident. You need a plan. The how is simple, but requires preparation. You need to prioritize lean proteins like chicken breast, turkey, egg whites, and white fish. These give you the highest protein return for the fewest calories. You pair these with high volume, high fiber vegetables, broccoli, spinach, asparagus, to keep your gut healthy and your stomach full. But let's be honest about the chewing fatigue. It is real. If you struggle to eat this much food in your 8-hour window, you must use the modern tools available to you. This is where a high-quality protein powder becomes your secret weapon. A simple shake can give you 30 grams of protein in 30 seconds. It's a tool, not a meal replacement, but it acts as an insurance policy to ensure you hit that 100-gram floor every single day. When you finally hit this number consistently, something magical happens around day 3. The satiety switch flips. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient. It suppresses ghrelin, the hunger hormone, better than anything else. Suddenly, you aren't fighting willpower battles at 3 p.m. You aren't looking for something sweet after dinner. You are full, you are satisfied, and because your blood sugar is stable, your insulin stays low, keeping you in that fat-burning zone we established in step 3. You now have the ignition from step 4, the timing from step 3, and the fuel from step 2. But here's the hard truth. You can have the best fuel in the world, but if you put it in a lawnmower engine, you aren't going to win a race. You're missing the engine. Step 1 is the only way to change the actual shape of your body, but it requires you to ignore the one tool you use every day to measure your progress. If you don't master this final step, you will quit before the magic happens. That is next. This brings us to number 1. This is the most important step because it is the only one that builds the engine itself. Step 4 ignited the spark. Step 3 cleared the traffic, and Step 2 provided the fuel. But Step 1 builds the factory that burns the fuel. If you do not do this, you will always be fighting a losing battle against a slowing metabolism. The secret is resistance training, but specifically heavy compound lifting. Recent clinical data, including a comprehensive review published in the Journal of Sports Medicine in 2023, indicates that resistance training is the singular intervention capable of significantly raising resting metabolic rate in postmenopausal women. Most women over 40 are terrified of this step. You have been told to do cardio to lose weight. You spend hours on the treadmill, the elliptical, or in spin class, sweating and exhausting yourself. But here is the hormonal reality. Excessive, steady-state cardio spikes cortisol. We already know that cortisol is the enemy of the menopausal belly. By running yourself into the ground, you are signaling your body to hold on to visceral fat as a survival mechanism. You are literally running your way to a bigger belly. To reverse this, you must stop focusing on how many calories you burn during the workout and start focusing on how many calories you burn after the workout. This is where the big 3 come in. We are not doing tricep kickbacks or little crunches. We are doing compound movements that recruit multiple muscle groups at once. The first is the squat. This targets your quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, the largest muscles in your body. When you work these muscles, you release a massive surge of metabolic demand that lasts for hours. The second is the row. This targets your back and biceps, correcting the posture slump that makes your belly look bigger than it is. The third is the overhead press. This builds strong shoulders and forces your core to stabilize your entire body, working your abs harder than any sit-up ever could. These exercises build muscle tissue, and muscle tissue is metabolically expensive. It takes a lot of energy just to keep muscle alive. A pound of muscle burns 3 times more calories at rest than a pound of fat. By adding 5 pounds of muscle to your frame, you are increasing your daily calorie burn significantly, even while you are sleeping. This is how you force your body to melt fat 24 hours a day, not just the 30 minutes you were at the gym. But here is the danger zone. This is the scale lie, and it is the reason 90% of women quit this roadmap within the first 3 months. You need to listen to this carefully because it will save your sanity. When you start lifting heavy weights and eating high protein, you are going to build muscle and burn fat simultaneously. This is called body recomposition. But here is the physics problem. Muscle is much denser than fat. It's like iron compared to cotton candy. 5 pounds of muscle takes up a fraction of the space that 5 pounds of fat does. So you will look in the mirror after 3 months. Your clothes will fit looser, your waist will be smaller, you will feel stronger. But then you will make the fatal mistake. You will step on the scale, and the number will be exactly the same as it was when you started. Or it might even be higher. If you do not understand the scale lie, you will panic. You will think it's not working. You will quit the weights, cut your calories, and go back to the treadmill. And in that moment, you destroy everything. You sacrifice the muscle you just built, you crash your metabolism, and the belly fat comes roaring back. You must accept the 6-month plateau. For the first 6 months of this roadmap, the scale is a liar. It cannot tell the difference between fat, muscle, water, and bone. It only gives you a total. You are shrinking, but you are getting denser. This is what creates the toned look. That word tone just means you have built muscle and lost the fat covering it. It does not make you bulky. You simply do not have the testosterone levels to become a bodybuilder. Instead, you develop a tight, feminine hourglass shape because you are finally building the structure that holds everything in place. The magic happens after the 6-month mark. Once you have established that new muscle mass, your metabolic rate is permanently higher. The fat starts to melt off rapidly because your engine is finally big enough to burn through the fuel reserves. You have turned your body from a storage depot into a blast furnace. But you have to survive the valley of disappointment to get there. You have to trust the process when the number on the floor tells you nothing is happening. You now have the complete metabolic roadmap. You have the supplements to ignite your thyroid, the 16-hour fast to lower your insulin, the high-protein diet to flip the satiety switch, and the heavy lifting to build your metabolic engine. But knowledge is not power. Execution is power. Now go to your bathroom right now, take your scale, and put it in the closet for 6 months. Do not touch it. Pick up the heavy weights, eat your protein, and trust the mirror instead of the number. You've learned the great stuff, but if you want to make your results perfect, we have to talk about what happens the rest of the day. To fix that and lock in your results, you need to watch this video right here. Click it and let's finish what we started. Your feedback is what drives this channel. The easiest way to give it is with a simple like and a comment. It's my #1 source of motivation, so I appreciate every single one. Thanks for watching.